So, Shanti, I'd like to ask you a question about universality and the difference of different religions, because I had some experiences at the Guatemala missions trip with all the different religions that I was talking with, and I was able to relate more with some of the things that the two people that were from India talked about. Thank you.
Yes. Look at air is universal. Water is universal. You know, we create the barriers. The land is universal. We made the continents and country. Animals don't have passports. Birds can fly. We create the boundaries. See? So if we look in reality, we are all interconnected. Everyone's blood is red. You know, you give blood to anyone, any race, any color, still will work. So really we are universal. Really we have created boundaries because of our ego. Religions have created boundaries. Nations have created boundaries. And individually, these boundaries become smaller. You know, the country against the country, then it becomes smaller. From country, we go to the state against state. Then city against the city, block against the block, family against the family. Ultimately, it comes to individual. Okay? So really, as we shrink, tension increases. Okay? Just simple principle. If you think only of I, me and mine, your tensions will increase. If you think of us, tension will decrease. So this is why instead of being limited to yourself, extend to the family. Okay? And from own self to family, extended family, then neighbors, then country, and expand in that direction. Instead, religions and nations make it shrinking. Religion is very important, or nation is important. Like say in India, for example, there are Hindus and Muslims. Muslim is 10% or so, minority. But they are many times dedicated to religion instead of nation. Nation should be priority, things like that. So there are boundaries created, and that's why we suffer. So how to get out of the boundaries? Two ways. Time and space causes the boundaries. One is in this book I have, I think, yes, in this book I wrote the facts from NASA that traveling in a space, like you go up in the space, then your house becomes insignificant, then your city becomes insignificant. You go a certain height, then Earth looks like a ball. You go further, solar system becomes small, and then all the galaxies become invisible. What it is, if we expand, instead of I, me, mine to limitation, we expand in consciousness. We expand in space. Things become insignificant. Same way, expanding in time. We are attached to someone, right? Someone. But imagine you are attached to someone. How about 50 years ago? They did not exist. Were you attached? And 50 years from now, would you be attached? All this because association, and we make ourselves narrow. So all the quarrels take place because make our consciousness narrow. So meditation is to expand consciousness. Service helps expanding consciousness. So I think in this book I have written about selfless service and different ways of service. People try to do service, go for voluntary work and help others and ignore themselves. And they deplete their energy. So we should strive. First yoga principle is nurture yourself, make yourself strong. You have enough reservoir, then you can offer. Many times, like one student came privately, she did not have enough money, so she cancelled the class, then cancelled again. And then the first time cancelled was a different reason. Other time cancelling is my son is going to Florida and we are buying property, so I cannot afford it. So I said, come, pay whatever you can. Okay. So I took her in, but then she is telling me she's going to the church to give a lecture about selfless service. I see the paradox. Somebody who is a beggar is trying to give charity. See? You cannot be a beggar and give charity. You don't have strength, you cannot give a hand to someone. You don't have surplus money, you cannot give charity to anyone. So first principle is strengthen yourself. Then you go next door, that means immediate family or neighbors, then workplace, and then go out helping. Generally, because of people are programmed by religion, something happens, they try to help. A whale that is dying, or a panda that is in trouble, and forget. And so many wealthy people, they don't treat their workers, pay them, squeeze them, and give charities to bigger places. So many swamis and so many organizations, I wrote my experiences, they collect billions in charity and build some ashrams and charitable thing, spending millions. People look at how much charitable work they are doing, but they don't look at all the things they are taking in. So start from within, then expand. Expand as if everyone is extension of your being. So in the affirmation it is that entire universe is my family. I'm surrounded by love. I am, just like arms and legs are your extension, feel other beings as your extension. So true universality is your consciousness expands. Doing charitable work, if you build ego, I did this work, or you look for recognition, you are shrinking your consciousness. So many people give to charity, but they get their name, they need recognition. Giving, so that your left hand gives, your right hand doesn't know. That is extension. And the sign of universality, you find peace. You don't feel threatened. You go into strange country, strange place, you don't get threatened. Universality. And look at the example of some great masters. Story of Buddha is very famous. In Christian tradition also there might be story. In Hindu tradition, the man who wrote Ramayana, Valmiki, he was a robber. In Buddha's case, a robber who collected fingers from each person and made a garland of it. And he went to Buddha, you are my next victim. But usually everyone is afraid by his name. Angulimal, that was his name. People are afraid, even to say he is in the town, people were threatened. And Buddha says, faces him, yeah, do whatever you like. You cannot hurt me. Just like facing fearlessness. That is universality. And Angulimal was so much surprised, and he opened up because Buddha had so much compassion. That what are you doing? What are you doing this for? He woke up, became his disciple. The point is, universality, somebody practices, would have so much power. Yogis, they describe in India time, they had so many vibrations for certain area that wild animals sat together. Just all these things. And science says that we have vibration we carry around us, and as we evolve, our aura extends more. So your presence carry the message instead of speech. So if you have a deep inner peace, somebody stays with you, just sits next to you, finds peace. And those who have more, then people at distance can feel it. Okay. So this is just general thought on universality, expansion. Not doing because religion says it, you feel it. So expansion, the feeling of expansion of love and compassion, that is a sign of universality. What we generally do is help others based upon our values. Like we tell our children, you should be a doctor, or you should be an engineer, or you should do this from our experience instead of understanding them. Same way, we go to other countries and give them charities and give them all these things, that you need fancy car like us and we need this. They need peace of mind, they want something else. So generally, at individual level, group level, or national level, we impose our idea on others in the name of helping them. Really, it should be serving to win their heart. See, giving all the charities, we made more enemies. We did not make friends. How could we make friends? Only of compassion, understanding them what they need. So this is universality, understanding others, feeling for others is a true universality.